Hello and welcome to Nut Time. Tonight, Evan and I explore Modern Warfare 2.
Nope. Modern Warfare.
Wait, what are we doing?
We're doing the Modern Warfare maps first.
Oh, we're doing Modern Warfare 2019.
Yeah.
Great.
Hello and welcome to Nut Time. I'm Evan and this is Brian. And today we're going to be looking at Modern Warfare 2019's maps.
Yes. We as a team play a lot of Search and Destroy, and we'll be approaching it from that angle.
Hi, it's Evan here. Just making a quick editor's note. For the majority of the video, the visual is purely the tier list itself. So feel free to put it on in the background and maybe check back in at the end to have a nosy at the list itself. Enjoy. So I guess without further ado, Brian, shall we? We'll start on the left, top left, shall we?
Aniyah Incursion. Now, this isn't in the Modern Warfare map rotation, is it?
No, not at all. But we have played it in private matches.
We have. It doesn't play badly, but it doesn't play well.
No.
I'd say Aniyah Incursion's got to be D.
I would want to put it in D, I think. I don't think it
Say
plays.
D? I think it can't really be, now that you say it, in C. It's not in rotation. It's not there for a reason. It's a little bit too big for 6v6.
And yeah, the bomb placements were weird when we played it.
Yeah.
As attackers, you had no chance. Anyway, we'll put it in D for now. Get that out of the way, because we don't really play that one, right? We can always change it if needs be. Now, Arklov Peak. I like Arklov Peak.
Evan, that's an S tier map for sure.
S tier? Fuck.
No, I'm
Straight
going right
into S.
straight in. Let me tell you. Defending A plant, you get up there, you snipe two guys on red broken, bing bang boom.
I mean, you
even on the attack, same thing. The quick A plant, the nut boys know exactly what's going on.
We do. Arklov is a good map, to be fair. I would put it A or S, in fairness.
A or S. Well, let's think about other big-ish maps. So you've got something like Grazna. Is Arklov better than Grazna?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, okay, it's going into S tier for now, yeah?
S tier for now. We can come
I can
back
always,
to it.
I can argue my point if I think it's an A later.
Very well.
Okay. Atlas Superstore.
Atlas Superstore.
Any initial thoughts?
Love-hate.
Yeah.
The planting can be easy or difficult on A, depending on if the other team is just stupid or not. But like if they smoke that and then push it, that you've got no chance. It's got to be always B if they're smart.
Yeah.
So by that logic, I don't think it plays as well as it could. But equally, if you're a much better team, then it's just an easy 6-0.
Yeah, we have had quite a few 6-0s against trash team. It is a weird one to play, I think, with all those crossovers in the map, stuff like that. There's weird angles there, you know?
Yeah, like I get the bomb down as quickly on there as I do on like Petrov, for example.
Yeah. Where would you place it?
B.
Yeah, I was thinking
my
B.
opinion.
Yeah. Right, B it is. Oh no. Azhir Cave.
Azhir Cave.
Azhir Cave.
As Nut Time Peter would say.
I am not the biggest fan of this map, to be honest.
No, I know that.
I think I like it less than Superstore.
Really? Yeah, I don't particularly mind it. I think I like it because it doesn't come up in rotations very often.
Yeah.
But, that's obviously not very objective of me. But I think it's one of those maps where, let's say you have a bad round and it's 2v5 or something, you can pull it back just because of how much cover there is and how many little angles you can get.
That's true.
I wouldn't be too harsh on it, but I'll go with you for this one. Where did you say it was?
Well, I personally don't think I like it as much as Superstore, which we've just placed in B.
Right, so you're thinking C. It's not as bad as Aniyah.
It's definitely not as bad as Aniyah. And now I'm starting to think maybe Aniyah shouldn't even be in D and it should be in trash. That gives us a little bit more room so that Azhir Cave can be C, but still not like only just above Aniyah Palace.
I think you're maybe right. Yeah. I'm looking through these maps right now to see what is trash, like what is actively just terrible. And yeah, Aniyah deserves to be.
Okay, let's drop Aniyah to trash, and then my vote would be to put Azhir Cave in C.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Okay. Next up on the chopping block. Broadcast. I really like Broadcast.
The boys love Broadcast.
Yeah.
I don't feel as strongly about it as I know a lot of the nut time do, but yeah, it's fine. Personally, I'd put it along with Superstore, but I knew that's probably an unpopular opinion.
Sure. I think I prefer it to Superstore. I
Yeah.
love the different angles you can approach B. Going up and down in. There are no other bomb sites, I think, in this game
Like
where
that.
you drop down into like that. You really have to secure low B before you can even think about doing that, you know? It's interesting.
Yeah, it's a risky one to
And then
push with
you
the
have that
angles.
fast push on A. I would want to put it in A. I know that's a bold statement though, because there's some good maps after this.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. It is better than Superstore. I'm happy to go with A.
Okay, A it is. Boom.
Now here's an interesting one. And something we haven't actually played in a few weeks, I don't think. At least I haven't. Yeah, a Cheshire Park. So, let's see. How does it play? We know the good B rush. You've got the sniper firefight on the top A's. I quite like it. I think it plays fairly well. You've got a decent bit of cover. You've got some good long lines of sight. It's kind of like a 3-lane map at its heart, but I think plays more intricately than you'd expect.
Yeah, I would agree. It's an interesting one because the A and B lanes, the side lanes on Cheshire, are extremely long range if you think about it.
Yeah.
And you can really get away with sniping there, and then you can rush around mid map with an SMG or something, which is quite interesting. And I actually agree. Yeah, it's sort of more intricate than you might think.
I don't want to give out too many A tiers, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
but I do like Cheshire.
Yeah.
We could put it in B. That ties it with Superstore.
Okay, we'll put it in B, right?
Yeah, let's put it there for now.
Okay. Ho ho ho!
A
Look what we have next.
real classic.
A nut time favorite.
It particularly is. I tell you what though, Crash has been a little bit spoiled for me lately.
And why is
And
that?
I'll tell you why, Evan. Because as we've kind of went through the SBMM brackets,
Of
and
course.
like I've noticed this, and as we've got a bit better and we're up against better teams, Crash has got consistently less fun. And the reason for that is because every single thing in a building is AK wallbangable. If you've got the FMJ on your AMAX or your AK, you can just fire through, not even the doors, but the walls and the staircases, the walls into the corners of the room, and it's very difficult to counter that.
Yeah.
Normally, I'd say it's got to be an S tier, but just recently, it's not quite as fun. I'd still give it an A,
Sure.
but it does vary. It's a difficult map to play if the other team play like shit, basically.
Yeah, agreed. The whole AK wallbang thing is a nightmare. I instinctively want to put it in S. I love it.
Yeah,
We love that A push. A defense is nice. I love defending alley with a sniper. Love that.
I think we have all got our own purposes on that map, and we've got it really, really slick and really well worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I've got my reservations these days about it because sometimes it just doesn't go well, but it it is a nut time classic. S.
S. There it is. He said it, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, from one end of the spectrum right to the other, we've got Euphrates Bridge, which is a private match only search and destroy. It's not available in the public playlists,
But we have played it a number of times.
and we have, and it plays very very slowly, very very snipery, and probably not very fun if you're not into that sort of thing.
No.
I did thoroughly enjoy Euphrates every time we played it, but that's
I did.
because.
Yeah, I did too, but the people in our private match weren't so happy about it.
They really weren't.
But quite often you get on attack that left side of the bridge, that sort of gap where you can see. I think it's a bomb site, maybe. I'm not sure, but you often get a defense sniper there watching that
Yeah.
push, which is quite tricky.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a great spot in
Yeah,
any game mode of Euphrates, but especially when you're dealing with a one life mode, you've got to be careful. Yeah, I'd be inclined to put that in line with Azhir Cave. If it was in public playlist, I really wouldn't mind. What do you think?
I was going to put it D, but I can see it in C as well.
Yeah. Well, we can give it a pass at the end if we think we're being too generous, but
Well, okay, C it is then for now.
see for now. If you've not played it, get yourself into a private match.
Up next, Grazna Raid.
Grazna.
I quite
No,
like Grazna.
I do as well. I feel like I may be a little bit biased towards Grazna because I like the longer lines of sight you get on the B push, and obviously, Peter and I have our little thing on the A push, so it usually goes quite well.
Yeah,
But I don't know if objectively it's as good as some of the other maps here.
I like Grazna as well. Not so much in respawn modes, but yeah, search. I think it plays really well for us at least.
Yeah, I think the A bomb is actually a really well set out room because it's fairly easy to defend, but it's also not impossible to attack.
I enjoy that. Just you saying about A bomb, which is the one near playground, right?
Yeah,
If you have those doubles, double doors open, you can see
yeah,
it
you've
from
got a
the
line of
top of
sight right
B.
from
Yeah, and that made me think there are a few buildings like top of B or any of the sort of sniper buildings where you can see multiple lines of sight, long
yeah.
lines of sight, which is really interesting. I quite like that.
I mean, you identified the site from B bomb to A bomb, but even from the blue building at the back of the field to B bomb, you can see the
Oh
site,
yeah,
and you can see the bomb if it's planted
yeah,
in the correct location. So yeah, there's some good lines of sight, but also some good kind of close quarter gameplay in A as well. So what do you think? It's got to be B or A.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think it's an S, but
No.
I don't think it's a C
Well,
either.
okay,
Obviously,
well let's look at what we have in A and B. Okay, A, I was a more of an advocate for broadcast being put in A, and then down in B
yeah,
we have Atlas and Cheshire. Now
indeed.
it's better than
Atlas,
Atlas. I think.
yeah,
Is it better than Cheshire? I think probably. Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah. So A, we're saying
yeah, it is.
A. Let's go.
Gunrunner.
Gunrunner can go either way. We've got our own rush on Gunrunner,
Yes.
but if they figure it out, it can be very easily countered, and then you just lose two guys right off the bat.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I think it comes up in rotation quite a lot, so I'm not excited to play it usually, just
Yeah.
because it happens frequently. But yeah, I think it's okay. I'd put it at first instinct in line with Cheshire and Atlas,
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
because like if you're dealing with something like A bomb, for instance, in like a 1v1, it's very easy to defend that just because there's so many places you can hide. And I don't know, I feel like there are better laid out bomb sites.
Yeah. Pretty much agree with all of what you said there. Do we go B then?
I think B,
B it is.
and that's because of what's next. Hackney
You
Yard.
you do love Hackney Yard. I
I,
enjoy it
I,
too. I usually end
I
up
really
getting quite a lot of kills on Hackney Yard. I mean, I don't get hyped up as much about it as the rest of you, but I
yeah,
still think it's a good map for sure. Very fast paced.
yeah, I like it, and it's good that A and B are both very viable.
Yeah, that's true.
A is obviously the quicker plant, if you can get it off. But as long as you've got a good mid defense, it's fine. You like the B push,
I
don't you?
do. When I end up getting like dead silence a round or two in, like I love it. Sometimes someone will maybe catch you out low offices, but they don't expect you to be there so quick, so you can usually catch them out.
Yeah,
The only problem is with that then is if someone's high smokestack, they can sometimes see you, but usually if you have someone run high office, they can counter that pretty easily.
yeah.
Um,
I think you're right. The way I would usually do that is if you're going to push those double doors on the side of the office, then you want to be like stimming or at least dead silencing,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
you get up top, and from the top of the office you can clear either smokestack or the alleyway to the right. I think it's
Yeah.
good. I
S-
think it should be. I'll not say S, but A.
Okay, I would be happy to see it in A as well. That's fair enough. A it is for now.
A.
Hard hat. You're not a fan of
Hard-
this one.
I detest hard hat. Um,
Wow. Okay, I don't
I,
know if I detest it.
it's not bad. Well, is it for our purpose of hardcore search and destroy? I don't think it plays very well
Interesting.
because there's a lot of very hard angles. It's the kind of thing where you're either in cover or you're not. It's like right angles on buildings. For instance, the B push. If there's somebody just ADS watching that hill or something, you've not really got a chance,
Sure.
or it's very difficult.
Okay.
We're not bad at it. Like
Mm-hmm.
we've all got our separate little things, and we can win it. I just don't think it plays brilliantly.
Okay. Where would you see it on the list then?
Um, Maybe an unpopular opinion, but for me, it would be the first D slot.
Ho ho ho! So worse than Azhir and
Worse than
Euphrates.
Azir. And yep, worse than Azir and Euphrates. I'd rather play either of those. Don't let me influence you. If you've got something positive to say about it, go for it.
No, do you know what? I am on a good game. I'll get loads of kills on this, so I quite like how it is. It can be hit or miss though, but usually, at least on attack, I love pushing down through pipe and up it mid into their spawn, and it catches a lot of people out. So I like that, but you make a lot of good points in that there's so many hard angles, and say it was just yourself left and you're up against two or three, it's very
Mhm.
easily to get cornered in that map. Like I'm thinking of Arklov, you can rotate a whole map pretty easily without being seen in Arklov or Grazna
Sure,
maybe.
yeah.
Whereas
Hmm.
Hardhat, if you are stuck in any one point in the map, it's pretty easy for the opposite team to trap you in that little area if
Yeah.
they know roughly where you are. Okay, if you want to put it in D,
I think it's
I can see it in D if you want. I would probably argue for C, but we'll put it D for now.
all right. D for now. First D.
First D, oof. Joining Aniyah Palace or whatever, Aniyah Incursion down toward the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, Hovec,
Hovec. We like Hovec.
we do.
Um, I've always gone A pretty much exclusively. I don't know. Do you push B on this?
Not usually. I usually join you on A. Adam
Yeah.
and the Adam and Peter
Adam and
quite often
Peter
go B.
take B. So they know all about that push.
Yeah.
But the flip side of that is just I knew nothing about fighting in that side of the map.
Yeah.
But I really do like Hovec. I think it plays well. You've got that nice long line of sight on A, good little bit of sniper fire going on, but it's also not kind of too campy. Like you can move
Yeah.
if you get cornered, you can sort of and there's multiple angles that you can get shot at or shoot into as well.
Yeah. Where would you place it?
I don't know if it's an S tier. I don't think it is. I
No.
think it's an A tier map.
I would put it in A. So A it is.
A.
Boom.
There we are. Is it called Khandor or Crandor?
It's called Khandor.
Right, okay. So, Khandor Hideout. What do you think about this? Another sort of close quarters map.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is worse though than that.
Yeah, it's one of those maps that we do often win, but there are things that play better, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I think the B building does play well, but I don't think the B field plays well at all.
Okay, yeah.
For example, like, the only time you take cover at that cell tower thing is when you're just caught out. Like, you don't do that on purpose.
Yeah.
A bomb,
It's
I
so
don't know.
it's
Does
so
that
hard
play
to
well?
push. You can't get into that site until the late game.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right because if you're attacking and you push a bomb, you've got two options. You either go through the garage and through the door, or through the main road and then in around the side.
Yeah.
If you go through the door, you're 100% dead.
Yeah, because from spawn build they can see you. From that little wall dead ahead they can see you. They could probably see you from top B as well as you come out the door.
Yeah, they can.
You
I
know,
think at least.
so, and then that's not even thinking about if someone is actually in and around site, which there usually is.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, I'm thinking a C or a D.
Oh, really?
Well,
You'd go
we're
as far as D?
potentially. I mean, you've put Hardhat there, but I prefer Hardhat. So
Interesting.
I yeah, C D for
I
me.
can,
Where would you?
I can see the argument for D. It, for me, it's a C map, but
Okay.
you know, like I said, I did come down harsh on Hard Hat, so we can put it in D. Let's have a quick look through the oncoming maps. I don't think there's too much else that I'd put in D, specifically D.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, well, yeah, fair. We'll put it in for
Khandor,
D now, and
Khandor,
then we can always switch it out if needs be.
yeah, Tank Factory.
Yes, Tank Factory. I actually really like this. I think I may be in the minority saying that.
No, I like it as well. We've got a good B push going on. The rest of the team seem to like the A push. I think it's fairly balanced when we play it. You've got the nice vertical gameplay as well.
Yes, yeah.
Um,
You don't get that in a
I,
lot of the maps.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think maybe I'd be equally pleased to play Tank Factory as I would um, Gunrunner or one of the B tier maps.
Yep.
Maybe even more.
Yeah. That's where I'm currently thinking A, B. I'm not sure
Yeah,
which it is leaning more towards. Okay, if we look at the other maps, okay, in B, is it better than Atlas?
I'd say so.
Is it better than Cheshire?
Uh, I
Hmm.
could go either way. Well, the thing is, there's some similar maps here. So if we take Cheshire and we take Hovec, both of those maps are a mix of close and long range. You've got decent vertical gameplay, much like Tank Factory.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do we like it better than Cheshire and not as much as Hovec, or do we like it the same as or as much as Hovec?
I like it better than Cheshire.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you. So, like, would you take it over Grazna?
Probably not. It seems to come up in rotation for us a lot, which I think has maybe pushed my enjoyment down a little.
A little bit down, yeah.
It's
Uh,
B then, I think. I think the way we're
B?
both talking about it, I think it
Right,
probably is a
okay.
B map.
Okay, well, yeah, into B. Now,
Petrov. Yeah.
indeed.
I quite like Petrov, like more than I think most do, and I think us as a team we really enjoy it more than most as well.
I think it plays quite well. Like, you can do both bomb sites. You've got the long range stuff on A. You've got sometimes faster stuff in the middle and on B. Depends though. It is quite a long range map now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. It is soured in my mind just because of how often it's in rotation. I'm not sure what the logic is of this, but do you notice that? Do you think it comes up a lot?
Well, definitely more than a lot of the maps that I'm seeing on my screen right now.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. Like, I think we play a lot of Petrov the same way we play a lot of St. Petrograd and a lot of Gunrunner. So it's maybe soured slightly for me there, but it's not bad. I could see the argument for either B or C.
Okay. Interesting.
What do you think? You had a bit more of a positive view.
I really like it. I think, especially, I love the A side. I love the long range, like sniper
Yeah,
firefights. B is a bit more complex in terms of how you want to approach it. Do you go low or high, or you can go off to the side? I like that little jump spot if you're on attacker side. If you're going up the steps to the
yes.
right and you can jump around, I think that's kind of interesting. In terms of defense, I like defending A. B, not so much, but I feel like most people tend to go A.
Yeah.
The
Well,
drill is a nightmare. in terms of sound on B. But
It is really.
in a way, I kind of like that because you don't really get any, at least on other maps, you don't really get that environmental sound which sort of messes with you on any
Yeah,
other map, you know? Huh?
no, yeah. Now that I've heard what you've had to say, I think I'm leaning definitely B.
Yeah. Okay, well, I like it personally more than Azhir, and I like it
Yeah,
better than Euphrates.
yeah,
Do I like it as much as any of them in B? Yes, I do.
yeah. I think that's fair.
So would you be happy to put it into B for now?
Yeah, like I said, it plays well. The only thing I dislike about it is its frequency. A real classic up next.
Piccadilly?
Yeah.
Now, not time diehards will know this was the first video up on the channel.
I think I was gonna say that generally this map is disliked
Yes.
in the kind of community at large. However, we've spoken about this before, and I think it does play really rather well for Search and Destroy, or for smaller player single life modes like maybe this or Cyber Attack or something along those lines. I think it plays well.
Yeah, agreed. I'm looking at a lot of the maps on the tier list already, and a lot of them you can sort of brute force them, and you can just rush an objective real hard.
Sure.
I think you definitely need to think more on Piccadilly, and because of those really long lines of sights and weird lines of sight as well. You know, sometimes you think you're in cover, but you're not.
Yeah.
I like it. Where would you place it, or have you any more thoughts on the map at all?
Well, I don't dislike it at all. I think it's fairly good. Both bomb sites are very viable. You've got decent vertical gameplay throughout the whole map. You've got the shops, the scaffolding, the buses.
What about defense? We're talking a lot about attack. What thoughts on defending the sites?
I don't think B's terribly difficult to defend. The problem with the cover around B is a lot of it is more concealment than anything else. Like you can be tapped through it very easily. For defending A, I always rush up the top of the shoe shop. It gives you a perfect sight onto the site itself, and then unless they're putting smoke on it, you can quite easily defend it unless you're getting pinged at from scaffolding or the shops or something.
Yeah.
But therein lies my point of there's a lot of variety in how you could do these things. So if you realise that 3 rounds in there's been a sniper up there for ages, then you can counter it in more than one or two ways. It's a solid B choice, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could bring myself to put it as an A map.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I could either.
It's a solid.
But it's a solid B. You know, it's not like edging on C for sure. It's you know what I mean.
It's not like
For me.
we were kind of unsure about Superstore or something. It's a solid B.
Okay, cool. B it is. I'll leave this next one to you, Brian.
Well, Evan, the boys love Ramaza.
We do.
They do, especially top B.
Top B, we do love top B.
What a fantastic map. Plays excellently. You can let's see. I personally am just the biggest fan in the world of the A site push. Getting up over the catwalk, double stim dead silence. You're across there before they realise. You can get the guy up top, push around the corner, get the bomb planted while everybody else is on B, and it's just an easy win.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing,
Just like that.
bada boom. Yeah,
It's
and even then, B is similar. It's very viable with a bit of cover. You can get in, get the plant off, and yeah, I think it's a great map. And it's not. That's not to say that it's like attacker sided, because
yes.
it's not.
That's what I was going to say. Is it feels like one of the more balanced maps in the game in terms of attack and defense. It's one of the few maps I enjoy defending on more than, well, not more, but as equally. You know.
Yeah. Because defending can feel like a little bit of a chore if you've got it's sometimes viewed just as an easy couple of rounds to pick up if you're,
Yeah.
maybe if you've lost a couple of rounds on attack. But Ramaza, no, I don't think so. I think very, very good. And it's one of the maps where you are far more likely to get plants than the round ending with just kills.
Yes, which I love in a map. I think that's so important for search and destroy.
exactly. It adds a lot to the gameplay. I'd say, Evan, it's an easy S.
It's an ho, an easy S for Brian.
It's right up there. In
Brian,
fact, you know what, Evan? I'd say it's the most solid S out of the
oh
three.
shit. Okay, right. Well, Brian, watch my mouse. All the way to the top.
There you go. You're gonna add a sound effect in post for it.
Third
Brilliant.
S of the game. It is a great map. I do love Ramaza, and I love seeing it up in the rotation, but it doesn't appear as much as I would hope, I think.
It really doesn't. Like, I don't know why. Like, how many times have we played Rust since the last time we played Ramaza?
God, I don't know. A lot of
Far too
Rust.
many. Yeah.
You
And
would think
I
Rust would
don't hate
be
Rust.
on. You would think Rust would be lower in terms of rotation because
Yeah.
it doesn't make as much sense, you know? It is the complete opposite to Ramaza, where, like you just said, you can plant and it ends in plants or
Yeah.
diffuses or whatever. This does not end in objective at all. It is always just go for kills.
Yeah, exactly. Like what was going through the head of the man who decided to put a bomb in the middle of that just open desert, barren
Yep.
environment,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
completely devoid of cover. Um,
Where,
you
where
know,
would you where would you place bomb sites if you could?
let's see. So
I know where I would.
I think you know what? Maybe on top of Eiffel.
Oh shit! Yeah, okay, that far out. Yeah.
Yeah, because it means that if the attackers spawn where they do, if it was behind Eiffel, it would be an easy plant. But if it's on top of Eiffel, then you've got a little bit of cover, but you can also be countered very easily from, the middle of the tower.
Yes.
So I think that wouldn't be a bad
Yeah. No. No.
placement.
That's good.
B
I
bomb site is fine, but again, just nobody plants it.
Yeah. If we're talking about a hypothetical, I guess remake, I would maybe place sites. So teams, instead of spawning in the two that they currently spawn in, they spawn in the opposite two corners. So one spawns Eiffel, one spawns red corner, or whatever
Yeah,
we call that. And then you have the two sites on. One is on the little concrete slab area. You know where I'm talking, at the bottom of the ramp to top of map. One there.
beside the red sort of cross through building.
Um, Hold on, I'm gonna bring up a map. Okay, so this is, you have a bomb site here in
Yeah.
and around
Oh,
these little
I
concrete
see.
things, and then on
Yeah,
the opposite side of the big main building. So if I can find another picture,
yeah. Well, I know the angle
like
you
down
mean.
in there.
Yeah. Oh, where the B flag would be.
Yeah. Yes. No, I don't actually think that's B. B's over
Sorry.
here. I think it's A or
Yeah,
C.
that's A flag. Yeah.
But yeah, you know
C's.
what I mean. So one down in here, and then one around those concrete slabs, and then you have teams spawn in these two corners.
Yeah.
So you sort
No, I
of
think that's
rotate the
really.
map 90 degrees essentially. Anyway, the
Well,
map.
that's not the case.
Yeah. Where would you put
Yeah,
it?
I don't dislike it. I know some people in the nut do dislike it. I'd say it's maybe a C map. Again, this is approaching it from purely an S&D
Yeah.
perspective. I know it's an old classic, but it just doesn't play well in S&D.
No, it doesn't play S&D at all. I I was actually thinking you were going to say around D, and then I could maybe say trash.
Oh, you'd really?
I mean,
Yeah, see, this is what I mean. I know that there is a dislike for it
I,
within the.
I don't mind it when it comes up at all. I get some really high kill games, but that's kind of the point. You get high kill games, but you don't play search and destroy. It's just
Yeah, so
a
we just
one life game mode, you know.
I,
Which
I think that's right because whenever I think about how I push either side of the map, I've got like maybe one normal push and then one if I get counted on the other one. There's no variety there, and it's just about catching people out
yeah,
and killing them basically while they're sprinting somewhere because there's no actual back and forth
exactly.
firefight. Yeah, I can see the argument for D at least.
So we'll put it in D because you had said C, I said trash. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
put it in
I
D.
don't. it's nowhere near as trash as some of the things coming up.
Whoa! Big statements being thrown down here by Brian. Okay, so another Modern Warfare 2 classic. Hint,
Yes.
hint, if you enjoy this video, whoever watches this, all two of you, we might do a Modern Warfare 2 map list. Back to the...
I really disliked the remake of Scrapyard whenever it came out. I gotta be honest with you. It didn't feel, and to be honest, it doesn't really feel like old Scrapyard.
No.
That said, I think it plays very well.
Whoa, okay.
I really like new Scrapyard. I think, let's see,
Where can you see...
A-bomb is easy to defend, easy to attack. Well, when I say easy to defend and attack, I mean it's viable.
Yeah, it is a hard attack and a fairly hard defense, actually, if you think about it. But
Yeah,
it is viable, at least.
Yeah. B, not so much, but it's not awful.
It's usually a late game plant.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it would be a rotate if you lose guys on A.
Yeah. So where do you see it on this list?
To be quite honest with you, I really like it. Like, I would be as happy to play Scrapyard as I would be to play Arklov.
Fuck.
Like it's really
Oh my
up there,
god.
really up there for me. But I think you know it is a remake, but I'd say at least it has to go in A.
Fuck. Okay, I was thinking B.
So, okay. So I clearly just like it, but what bits of it do you think it where it's weak?
Well, okay, as you said, early game, that whole B side is just a no.
Yeah, it's not really useful.
I love our fast push on A. I love that there's that risk of that little slide you make between the plane and the sort of warehouse building.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love that. You know what? I think I was just in my head because when I'm talking about it right now, I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay, right. What did you wanted A?
I think it's good.
I just personally don't think I prefer it to the likes of Petrov or Tank Factory or...
You'd take Petrov over
I
Scrapyard.
think I would.
Interesting.
But I'm happy to put it in A. We'll put it in A for now.
We can maybe give it, yeah, we'll put it there for now. Maybe give it a pass. We got more in B as it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Scrapyard, trash, Shoothouse next.
Well, okay, Shipment instant trash. Okay,
Yeah,
that just plays like a
trash.
gunfight map.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't actually hate Shipment in gunfight.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of it's like exactly the opposite of Pine. Like there's no sneaky beaky. It's all kind of like there may well be a guy around this corner, but you don't really know.
Yeah.
Do you sprint and try and get around quickly? Do you just keep your gun up all the time? Like, but
Yeah.
this isn't.
This is
isn't a
not gunfight. And I actually, just side note, I think it's one of the weaker gunfight maps. But yeah, for search, trash.
Yeah, and I think in general the remake really destroyed the map just because it put some silly lines of sight in that just shouldn't be there.
Sure.
Because if you look at the old COD 4 Shipment, or even any of the Shipments remakes until this, you've got those angled containers on the sides that break up the lines of sight in the map, and you can't shoot from one corner of the map to the other, whereas you can in this new one.
Not to mention that on respawn, spawns are awful on this map, and I actually don't know how they've managed to mess it up that badly when it's been in the game multiple times, and the spawns have worked pretty much okay, or is at least as good as they could be on a map like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, Evan, it's
trash.
earned its place in trash.
Sorry, you'd said something about the next map.
Oh, I was just being silly and saying, oh, next.
Next. Next.
Yeah.
Well, Shoothouse.
Yeah, Shoothouse is similarly fast-paced. However, I don't think it plays badly.
No.
Honestly. We tend to sometimes get plants off.
Yeah, B.
Yeah.
Again,
I'd say
A's a late rotate,
A-
maybe.
A late game rotate, depending on how it's going. Usually if you've got like Last Alive or something. Yeah, I don't
Where
think it
would you
plays.
where would you place it though?
Personally, I don't get too hyped about it. It's maybe a BC
I was
for
thinking,
me.
yeah, I was thinking C, because
Yes, I
that
think it's fair.
wall bang container, the fact that that's not patched yet frustrates me so much.
Yeah,
I do have like a nice little push on defense actually. I'll push up mid and then up into containers, which I quite like. And sometimes you get caught out by a sniper and there's nothing you can do. But
I
I think
think
it. Sorry, go on.
yeah, I was gonna say I think the fact that I don't generally push the dodgy bits of the map kind of skews my opinion of it positively anyway.
Sure.
So like the if you're defending, you've got the burning truck on the right
Yeah.
side of the map beside Scrapyard, and you can stand on that and you can snipe down. Of course, you can also snipe from the attacker side
Yeah.
along that same line of sight, and I don't think that's bad. It's a nice early game kill, and then you can push and get into the Scrapyard. But yeah, generally, I think C.
Yeah. Agreed. See, it is down to the final four, and we
Yeah,
actually have some goodies coming up.
yeah, yeah.
I think so anyway. First though,
Yeah. First, there was Petrov,
yes. No,
and you hinted previously that this is something you enjoy.
I do like Petrov actually. No, not Petrov. What the fuck's it called?
Um,
Petrograd.
no,
Petrograd.
oh, we both said Petrov. Yes, and Petrograd. Yeah.
Okay, well, Petrograd. I quite like it.
Hmm.
Obviously, off spawn, you have really long lines of sight down trams or a little bit after spawn down the riverside. Um,
Yeah.
I think A is a little better for defense, but I think it's a great bomb site. I love it so much because you have from defender's side, you can go up high or you can go down low, and there's two ways you can go down low. You can go through the big arch or you can come through the door into the sort of smaller arches.
Yeah.
And then obviously I said it's harder on attack, but it's still totally viable. You can either push through big arch or get into the tiny room to the side, and then you have those boxes, which
Yeah.
sort of give you a bit of verticality, which you can then try and challenge top A. Yeah, I love that site. I really love it.
I think it's that particular site that you were saying with A and the bit of sort of the vertical nature of it is good, but whenever you're attacking, if they manage to get someone up top A before you get past the car and into the tiny room,
Man,
it's
I just think you're not good enough.
you're wrecked. Well, no, but this is why I double stim knife on attack all the time, and I always make it into the room. But like
Yeah,
sometimes there'll be somebody behind me and they'll catch the nade that goes to the
sure.
car.
Yeah, the car
Um,
is a bit of a nightmare. I wonder if that wasn't
I always,
explosive.
always, whenever I push top A on defense, the first thing I do is get the Semtex out and blow up that car.
I wonder if it wasn't and it was just hard cover. Would that change opinions on that push? You know.
Oh, definitely. Because
Um.
first of all, it'd be harder to shoot through, and then
Yeah.
second of all, it doesn't blow up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we don't always go A. I know both you and me actually. Yeah, we both like going B, but a bit slower.
Yeah, it's
You.
it's got to be a more careful push just because of the nature of it. You've got
Yeah.
a few lines of sight. You've got the one from top hazmat.
That's it. That's a pretty
And then
risky one. Yeah.
as you push forward, you've got all of that stuff from the left.
I quite like the map in general. Where would you place it?
I think it's good. I think similar to Petrov, it's got the kind of subconscious issue of me for I don't really look forward to it just because we play it quite a lot, but it is a good map.
Yeah.
I'd say it would be for me a solid B choice.
Yeah, it'd be between an A and a B for me, but yeah, I'd probably see it in B as well.
Okay.
Or, well,
Or do
potentially
you want
A.
to you want an A? Well, we
I don't
could.
know because I'm looking at the A maps,
Yeah.
and I think I enjoy it equally as much as some of the maps in A. You know,
Yeah.
but
I
at the
don't. I don't think it ever goes badly, really.
yeah,
Petrograd. We could give it the A.
I would maybe push it to an A.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those maps where for S and D, yes.
Hmm.
But I feel like, in general game modes, it can be a bit
Yeah,
campy.
I hate domination. I hate that B flag on domination.
Yeah. So like,
Okay, well, A or B?
let's go for S&D A.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that's fair.
Okay, next.
Next is
An olden time remake.
Sudal.
Harbor.
That's it.
This
No,
is tainted, Ryan. It is tainted. And you know why it's tainted, this map.
because of that video you uploaded yesterday.
No. But
No.
go check that out. Because of the goddamn wall bangs on this map.
Oh yes, oh, dear, I forgot all about that because I really enjoy the if you spawn as attacker, get the bomb, knife double stim down to mid where B flag would be, and you push around that corner, get your gun out, and you're there before anybody. But that can all just be ruined by some idiot with his AMAX or his Val or his AK with FMJ on it, firing through like an entire building into your spawn.
Hate that so much. On a
It's
map that is as tight as it is in some instances, especially around mid map. Like
Yeah.
the fact that it's so tight and you get caught off spawn doesn't even give you the chance to get there, you know? It's totally unfair that he can shoot from basically his spawn and kill you. And then also wall bangs on top A if you are on defense and if you're attacking and then you get a guy on their team defending and they just wall bangs through top A, you have no chance as well.
See that one I think is fair because people know about that wall bang. It's also like a sheet metal, so it makes sense in my head.
No,
And I
it's a
think
wall.
on top A.
Yeah, okay. So you have a defender, okay? I'll bring up the picture.
You have a defender in the top yellow.
Yeah, top
on
yellow,
it.
looking up to the building above garage.
Yeah.
Let me see. I can't seem to find any pictures.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Aha,
Two to the right.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
There
hate
is a
that. I
wall.
mean, that's a wall, you know? And I hate...
That's-
I mean, there's two windows there already, and there's this line of sight here from the shed.
Yeah.
So you're already kind of pinned in this corner, and to have AK bullets flying in from the left as well,
Yeah.
kind of
It is a
unfair.
it is a difficult map this for attackers. It's very
Yeah.
very defender sided.
Yeah. But okay, where would you then place it?
There's a couple of issues I take with it. The first one, which you raised, obviously, is the wall bangs. Second, for me, is the fact that it just comes up all the time. And third, it's very easy to just kind of camp a couple of positions and just hold them. Like, for instance, you get Charlie sat on the roof of the tin thing on B, and you'll have me up in top yellow. And between us, we can kind of,
Yeah.
or any
Yeah, I mean, realistically, yeah, you
any,
can.
any proper push, and then couple that with the rest of like perhaps you, Adam, and Peter actually going and getting kills in places. It's really really difficult to play for attackers. That
Yeah.
is, I think it's got to be a C for me,
Yeah.
C or D.
So I would probably go C because I actually like it quite a lot, but it is it is a bit of a nightmare to play. I think I like it because it's so intense and you kind of don't know how it's going to go. But yeah, you are right. It doesn't play amazingly well at all.
Yeah. I'm happy enough with C. I think it's kind of exactly the opposite of Hardhat in my opinion, whereas Hardhat doesn't play badly, but I just don't like it. Whereas
Yeah.
I don't mind Sildel, but it does not play well.
Yeah. Yeah. C it is then.
C.
Um. Oh, okay. This is a personal favorite of mine. Backlot.
Yeah.
I really like Backlot.
We love a bit of backlot. I mean, again, similar to Scrapyard, I didn't like the Modern Warfare 2019 remake of backlot,
Okay.
and I think a lot of these maps do not feel like their old
No.
counterparts. That said, it's not bad. It's good. It's a good map, and it plays well. I'd happily see that up in A or perhaps S.
Okay. So I would probably try and make the argument for S.
Yeah.
I really like it.
It is a nut time classic.
Yeah, and I think it skews a bit more to the defenders, but I think it's totally viable on attack. I love that there is a bit of verticality in it, and you have at least three buildings. So you have construction, you have mid build, and burning build broken, and
Yeah,
taxi, I guess, as well. That all have basically two floors or more, so that you
yeah,
can. There's a bit of sort of complexity to that, you know.
yeah.
Um,
I think it is very balanced. I wouldn't even say it's very defender sided because, for instance, on A, the whole building, if you're defending and you want to get in there, you've got to go through either doors or you've got to go into the open side of the map. Whereas for the attackers, they've got a ladder and an open, doorless arch.
Yeah.
So
I
it's,
don't like that A push, like, basically at all. I mean, I can do it if needs be, you know, but I think if you come up against a good team, they can cut that down so easily.
yeah, that's fair.
I actually really enjoy going B. I love going to top taxi, try and pick off one or two with a sniper, and then jumping out and moving to burning building or broken.
Yeah,
I enjoy that movement, and I like
I
the mid build sort of, just the concept of that mid build where you do have a lot of overlook, which I guess you could argue that it's a bit campy or whatever, but I think you can counter it. There's enough windows and entry points that you can.
Yeah, I mean, like you and Adam love the mid build, but from attacking and defending mostly on B, at least for me, in like the burning building and so on, the broken, you can counter the guys on top
Yeah.
if you get them called out to you
Could
quite easily.
could you see it in S?
Would I rather play it than broadcast? Yeah, Grazna, maybe Tide, Hackney.
You'd rather play Hackney?
I'd probably rather play Hackney. I'd probably rather play it than Hovec and Petro, though.
Sure.
I don't know. I can see the argument for it. It is a real classic. Yeah, give
Yeah.
it the yes.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
Fair
And
enough.
and it's one of those maps that we all like,
Yeah.
which is nice as well because like, we've all got our own ways of playing it. Peter's got his nades all the time.
Yeah.
You know, you and Adam have the whole mid build thing, and I've got the bomb. It's good.
Now, where do you think the last map on our list goes? Vacant. Another
Vacant.
remake?
Yep. No, this I think is brilliant. I I like Vacant a lot. For whatever reason, Vacants in S&D at least are always my highest kill games.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, I think it's just good. Like it's tight enough to be, flicky and close quartersy, but it's not kind of. There are no parts of the map which I think are just impossible to push.
Yeah.
Like even trying to get into the room for B bomb, from the main door, the double door, not hazmat.
Yeah.
Even that, which is a difficult push, isn't impossible. Like it's
Yeah.
not the most challenging counter in the game.
Yeah. The one
I
thing I
think.
will say about it is that there are some nasty, nasty head glitches.
Yeah.
Like, if you're trying to attack, people can just be sitting behind a little box or whatever, you know.
Yeah. I think you've got to play to. It's one of the maps where you really have to take the other team's playstyle into account. Because
Yeah.
if they are defending well on A, or they're, wall banging the double doors before you even get there, and that sort of thing, you've really got to switch it up. Otherwise, you're just going to get cut down again and again.
Yeah.
I think that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is that there's enough going on in the map that it gives you the flexibility to do other things.
Sure.
You know,
Where would
do
you
you
see
really,
it?
I
For me, it's
don't
not
know.
an S.
Yeah, I don't think it's an S.
Do you think it's an A?
I think it's a comfortable A.
Do you think it's a B?
Um, Out of all the maps in B, it would be my favorite if it did go into B.
Okay.
I can see the argument for putting it in B over A, just because like I know it's not exactly a nut time favorite, but
Sure.
personally, I do enjoy it.
Agreed. I would put an A also.
Oh, there we go.
So A it goes. And that is the extent of the map, Brian.
What is the let me ask you this. Out of the maps that we've picked, we've got 4 in S and what's 7 in A. What would you say is your favorite map out of all of these?
Oof.
It comes up in rotation and you're like, that's it. Evans getting in it and he's going to top.
It would be between the 4 S maps and probably broadcast would be in there for me as well.
Okay, so if you had to pick one,
So
what's the best S&D map in the game?
the best S&D map, okay. I think I know what it is, okay? But let me run you through them here really quick, okay? So broadcast I'll start with because it was an A map. I love broadcast, like I really do. I think it's much more interesting than a lot of the maps.
Yeah,
A couple annoying wall banks, but I just don't think it's quite as good as the S maps, so not that one.
sure.
Crash used to be the fave, and probably okay. Well, I prefer Crash to Arklov. Okay, I love Arklov, but again, it's not it. So that leaves Crash, Ramaza, and Backlot.
Yeah.
I love Backlot as well, and I love Crash, but I think it has to be Ramaza.
I'm 100% with you there. There's a few maps in here that I really enjoy. Like you said broadcast, I'd say I really enjoy Scrapyard.
Yeah,
The S tier maps, Arklov's brilliant. It's not quite as just fun as some of the other ones there,
yeah,
but out of all of them, best map for me, and I think the best playing S&D map in general.
yeah. That's what I was thinking when I was talking to you there. Ramaza plays, I think, the best out of them all.
Yeah.
And yeah, it usually goes pretty well for us, but that's maybe just because we know how to play it or whatever, you know. But yeah, great map. I love it. And I used to hate it, both for standard respawn and for S&D. But over the time, you know, playing it, and to be honest, you have swayed my opinion on it quite a bit, because I know how much you've always loved it. But oh man, yeah, I think it's a great map. I love when it comes up. It's unfortunate that it doesn't come up as much as it does for
Yeah.
us, but maybe that's a good thing, you know?
Yeah, it's a rarity.
Yes. So you would agree, Ramaza?
I think Ramats is the
Okay.
play.
This is the definitive nut time
Yeah,
tier
yeah.
list.
The official nut time list of maps. No, wait, hold on. Thank you very much for watching the official nut time Modern Warfare 2019 Search and Destroy tier list.
What a long title.
Oh dear. This video is not allowed to be longer than 20 minutes.
Fuck.